I am excited. In this video, we are talking Kaiju EXT 8 scale brushless big time monster. We are going to get this thing out of the box, give it a first once look over, and then get it out and test it, see how it does. Follow along. Let's do this. Welcome everyone. My name is Troy. This is Roadside RC. If you're new here, what you'll tend to find is bashing, crawling, drifting, racing, all those kind of things, plus product review videos and how-tos. Today, this Redcat Kaiju, I've ordered this thing. It's been on order. Finally, it is here. I am here to unbox it, to give it a shot. We are talking hobby wing systems. We're talking about metal geared servos straight out of the box. Big scale, 8 scale. Man, I am going to have some fun with this thing. Oh man, look at that truck. That is honestly pretty cool looking. So I'm going to tell you something. I've been a little nervous ever since I ordered it because, online, looking at some of the videos, it doesn't look great. It looks like there's some styling design cues in here that I really like with this body. They really took a chance with it, but there was something about it proportion wise and everything that just didn't quite look right. In person, I will say it honestly looks better in person than it does in like online and stuff. So if you looked at this thing at first and you're like, that doesn't look so great, give it a shot. Wait for it in person. You might like it better when you actually see it up close and personal for the first time. So first things that we immediately see are these licensed Interco tires. Check that out. I'm feeling pretty good actually. Nice. It feels like kind of somewhat hard tread, so probably pretty durable. Probably would last a pretty decent amount of time, scraping abrasion wise. So good tread life potentially. Obviously the body kind of stands out. It has in theory a functional air hood scoop here. I'll be really curious to see if we can actually tell if that really works. At minimum, it's a hard piece of plastic that might help save the body. Is kind of what I'm thinking. Looking at our standard Redcat controller that they provide with basically all of the vehicles. Big wing on the back. Wheelie bar with rubber wheels, bearings. Oh man, that thing is nice. It is adjustable. And when you look at the suspension, you notice the truck seems like it sits a little high. And as we look at that suspension, man, it is stiff. It is basher spec suspension. Very stiff. In order to land those big jumps and not bottom out the chassis. Does feel a little bit stiff compared to something that you might want, let's say for racing or something along those lines. But if you're doing the big jumps, I think they got that set up pretty well for you. All right, let's get the body off and see what we find underneath. All right, yep, there's the air intake scoop that it claims right there. We got a little pad, little protection up there in front to help the body. That's kind of nice. I kind of like that. That's a nice little feature. Underneath, little Redcat logo here. Obviously, dust cover installed from the factory. Quite nice, actually. It looks like it just pops over 4 corners molded into the chassis. Very cool. One thing I noticed, the tub on this chassis, oh my gosh, that is substantial. If you look at this, it is molded in all around here. That is, if you can break that chassis, I would be very surprised, very, very surprised. We are looking at our Hexfly 25 kg servo. Should be great. Heck, this is what a lot of people put in here as an upgrade over time. Hobby wing rebranded electronics, 150 amp ESC, 4S, 6S capable. For some reason running Dean's plugs, which doesn't make a dang bit of sense to me if I'm honest. So I'm going to be changing those over for XT90s basically immediately. Battery compartment might be a little small. We'll have to see what all kind of batteries we have that will fit in there. We'll have to look at that. 2100 kV motor with the motor shroud on there. I've seen a couple people where this motor shroud has fallen off during bashing, so we might put a zip tie around it or something like that just to make sure it doesn't come off. Receiver box is not screwed down, it actually is body clipped with a pin. Then you have access to the receiver box, so that's good. But one thing I'm noticing is this does not appear to be waterproof at all. There is no gasket around the top here. I'm not seeing anything in this gap. Typically in there you'll find some kind of rubber or some kind of foam to help keep the water out. And the other thing is it looks like this antenna, when I opened this, I don't know if you saw it, the antenna was actually not in the groove. The antenna was off to the side, so watch out for that, because if that gets pinched too badly, you will clearly lose some signal. So I'm not thinking this is not submergible, but it definitely looks splash proof. So you're out running in the rain, I'm guessing you're going to be fine. You submerge this in a pond, it's done for. Like we talked earlier, these big shocks, you can see kind of the slow on the rebound, but man, that is some stiffness. Come all the way down, we can bottom out, but man, that thing, they are stiff. Definitely the basher spec right there. Adjustable collars on it. They look like a nice thick shock shaft. That is looking really nice. Only potential negative on here is these are plastic shock caps. Redcat does offer aluminum upgrades for those. I might go ahead and pick those up just out of protection. Super small little bumper here. If you're used to looking at the old shorter Kaiju, the original, it had a much bigger bumper stuck way out here. This one's basically almost just not a bumper, if we're honest with ourselves. Flipping around to the rear, again, beautiful wheelie bar. Really love the design of this wheelie bar. It is adjustable in here, so you can actually set it down. I'll be honest, it looks like it's way up there right now. That is a huge wheelie that you get out of the factory. I might set that down a little bit just because, so we'll check that out. Now, as I film this, there's kind of an elephant in the room. So just literally yesterday, Redcat put out on their Facebook page, on the Kaiju Facebook page, a whole letter that says basically they're investigating potential weaknesses in the rear end of this vehicle. And what they've been seeing is a bunch of people have been breaking this upper rear control arm turnbuckle. What the investigation is all around is about this upper turnbuckle. They're concerned that it may be made out of the wrong metal and make it even weaker than it really should be. And so as I drive it, that's obviously one thing that we need to look at, is be careful with this rear turnbuckle. So far I have seen folks with this broken, with a drive shaft broken, and with a diff cup broken. And so one of the things we need to do is kind of look at that whole thing, check out what's going on there, and see if there's anything that we need to do to make that stronger, or do we just need to keep a couple of replacement parts on hand. I am itching to get this thing out and try it, so I need to get some batteries charged. I need to get these connectors soldered over to what I want, and of course there's stickers that need to go on that body. So I'm gonna get that done, and then I'm gonna see you out in the yard. Let's hit some jumps. All right, plugs are on. We got some extra stickers on the body. We're getting there. The last thing here, fitting the battery in. So I have this somewhat older Z LiPo 7000 milliamp from Z 4S battery, and the truth is it barely fits into the case, even with taking the foams out. So I looked at all my other 4S batteries because I was going to try it on 4S first, and honestly none of them will actually fit in, especially with the foams, but most of them won't actually fit in from plastic bulkhead to plastic bulkhead. So this might be a thing if I'm looking for longer run times, and if I want to run this on different things. I may actually look at moving this whole receiver to right over here in this dead space. It looks like it'll fit. Take out this plastic barrier right here, and then I'd have this whole area right here. For lipos, it should work great. So, but today I got the Z, it's here, it'll fit. I'm gonna get it in, we're gonna give it a shot. Let's see if we can carry a wheelie. Wheelie champion. Oh, it keeps turning. Wheelie champion of the world.
That's one of the reasons why.
Ooh, ooh. Here. Bop, 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 bop.
Yeah.
Whoa! I almost hit myself. It lives. Whoop. Oh! Oh! That was full stop. Is it live? I literally took a divot out of the grass. It literally took a whole chunk out. And there it goes. Do we want to bet how many backflips before it breaks?
1.
Logan's at 1. Rich is at 3. I'm gonna guess that I land them well, and it's gonna be 6 backflips before it breaks. All right, Logan, you count them out. Here we go. 1. Ha ha ha. 2. 3. All right, we're past Logan. Oh, ow. That was a hit. Five. Those sideways landings, those are the dangerous ones. There's a lot of force there. Yeah, those are the ones that get you. Aha! 6. Oh, wow, that was one. Did it live? That was a hard hit because I was way on it, way around. And it's fine. Nope. Yeah. That was full throttle. But I'm pretty happy with the speed on 4S. Oosh! Oh, I got it. There it went. There it went. That sideways landing got it. Is that the exact same corner?
That was 9.
What's it 9? Logan counted. We made it 9. Good job behind you. And exact same break in the exact same spot. Okay, exact same break that we had the first time in the, I mean, literally the exact same spot. And I'm starting to have a theory on this whole thing. So, of course, it's only when I land stupid, right? Like, we're doing big jumps, we're doing backflips. It's putting a lot of pressure on it, and it landed a lot of backflips just fine. It's when I came down sideways on that backflip, it's a lot of pressure. But a couple things to note. It's not breaking it in extension, right? It's not breaking it in when it's crashing and pulling it this way. It's only breaking it in compression this way. And when you look at it, it is limited. There is a lot of travel here and nothing restricting that from coming down, and it's just putting all that pressure and all that force right on this joint. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open this up and I'm going to put a little piece of rubber tubing on that shock shaft to limit how far down it can go. Boom! 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 There we go. Oh, that was definitely the hit, and it's fine. Beautiful. Oh, ow. There it goes. Exact same spot now on the other side. It eventually got it. So I think the rubber insert, I think that helps. First drives with the Kaiju EXT done. What do I think about it? Well, you know, the story, obviously, the story with the first runs is these pile of parts that I have over here, the pile of control arms, broken control arms that I have over here. So yes, I did break 3 rear control arms, and I haven't even burned through a full battery. So that's got to be the headline, right? like that's unfortunate. Like I mentioned earlier in the video, Redcat's already come out and said, hey, we're looking at this, we think there's an issue. But even then, I'm not super concerned about this long term, because really it broke in the same spot every time. 1, 2, 3. You can see it snapped right at the end of that turnbuckle where it goes into the plastic. It's not a plastics issue. The plastics actually look really robust. The rod ends look really, really robust. It's just these turnbuckles themselves. And I've already spent, it's like $15 if I remember right, for a set of Lunsford turnbuckles. And so that'll be in a future video. Keep an eye out for that. They haven't arrived yet. But really, so you get the vehicle, you spend like $30 on some titanium super strong turnbuckles from Lunsford, and maybe you're good? I have had 0 other issues with it, but I think there's also a couple other things that we need to address and we're gonna have to fix longer term with the truck. So one is the fact that basically the rear suspension binding, including these upper control arms, is really the like flex point on the rear suspension. And so, you know, you've already seen, like I said, I've put some rubber stoppers. I put 10 millimeters worth of rubber stopper on that shock. I put 15 on this one just to give it a shot. But I broke 2 of these. I broke 2 of the upper control arms in a row on the right hand side. I put the rubber there, no longer breaking. Over here, we're gonna give it a shot. I haven't driven it yet, but I put the rubber in there. I'm betting that rubber is gonna give it enough cushion and slow down that impact to where it's not gonna break them, even the factory ones. And it's like $1 or less worth of rubber that I'm putting in there, less like cents worth. And so I think that's a deal. I've also seen some folks, especially on 6S, shred the tires so far. Now, I have kept it away from water at this point with a belted tire and no holes on the outside. There's nowhere, if you do get any water in it, there's nowhere for that water to come out. And that always is a death toll for tires. But how many times do we replace our stock tires with something else anyway? So I'm not concerned about this. So far, power's really good. Tuned the ESC a little bit. That'll be a future video. Kind of tune the ESC a little bit out of the box. I don't like the settings that it comes with. But otherwise, the truck's fast. The truck handles good. It jumps well. Like, everything's good. There's just a couple little minor flaws that we need to get hammered out. And then it's going to be solid. So, you know, am I going to give it the full, like, roadside RC seal of approval at this point? I'm a little bit hesitant to. But I want you to keep something in mind. Like, I'm gonna have more fun with this. More videos are coming. We're gonna test this thing out. Don't worry, we're gonna get there. But I want to keep something in mind for you, which is, what is its direct competition? Its direct competition is the E-Revo, the Creighton, Arma Creighton 6S. And as an example, this truck right now, over $100 cheaper than the Arma Creighton 6S. All right. Now, don't let anybody lie to you. That truck has its own kind of quirks and everything right out of the box, just like everything else does. This one has a better servo in it. It's got a solid ESC and motor. Everything's like, I think we're going to be fine here. You get this truck, you got $100 to play with on some upgrades and some tweaks to it. Like, I think it's going to be fine. So I'm going to get to working on some other things. Please come over here in the meantime, check out some other videos that I've already made, and we will see you in the next one. So thank you for all your support. Let me know down in the comments below what you think, anything you want me to specifically show you on this truck, and we'll get working on it. But thank you for your support, and goodbye.